see everyone this morning.
Good
Man.
Glory God. Glory God.
Last Sunday, I began to preach a series of sermons on happiness. And today is my second sermon. I'm gonna do 4 now. I want y'all to be happy.
Amen.
I don't really believe y'all know how to be happy. I really don't. Because I don't see you living your lives in joy.
There you go. There you go.
I don't see it.
That's it.
I don't see it. Too many of us are unhappy. And it's affecting our relationship with God.
Yeah.
That's why we so tight. That's why we are so stingy. We're not happy. Now, look, I'm getting ready to preach this sermon, but I want y'all to understand that man and that woman can't make you happy. That bottle can't make you happy.
Glory be to God. Hallelujah.
That's right.
That pipe can't make you happy.
Amen.
So what do you know about a pipe? I look at folk every week that's messed up by that pipe.
Amen.
Help us, Pastor.
Money can't make you happy.
Amen.
So last week I talked about what I call joyness.
Joy. Amen. Yeah.
You got to learn how to have some joyness. Today I want to move to another level of happiness. And this level of happiness I found in Philippians, the 4th chapter. And if everybody was standing, look at the Word of God. I told Pastor Stacy we're going to hold off on this offering until after the sermon because I'm going to start taking it up. Because I want to see if I can get us to move in this next year to another level in our giving and our receiving. I want us to do better. I want you to do better. I don't want you to be satisfied with nothing. So this morning I want to talk to you about the issue of contentment. And there in the 4th chapter of Philippians, we find, I'm going to read these 4 verses for myself, and then we're going to read together verse 11, okay? Because I want, and y'all work with me, because I guarantee you, if you will implement what I'm trying to teach you from God's Word, I guarantee you it will work for you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
But if you leave here saying, well, okay, them just some things he said or that was exciting, and you never come back and you never try to utilize what God is saying, you won't have what God intends for you.
Okay.
So y'all work with me. Work with me. Stop being so discontented that everything in your life is messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to work with you this morning. Y'all work with me, okay? Y'all gonna work with me? Say amen.
Amen.
Let's see what we can learn from God today. Let's see what we can learn. It says in the 4th chapter, 10 through 13, I rejoice in the Lord greatly that now at last, I've been suffering. You have revived your concern for me. And indeed, you was concerned for me, but had no opportunity to show it. Not that I am referring to being in need, for I have learned to be content in whatever I have. I know what it is to have little, and I know what it is to have plenty. And in all circumstances, I have learned the secret of being well fed and of going hungry, of having plenty and of being in need. This is my secret. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But just in case you don't believe that, in verse 14 it says, in any case, it was kind of you to share in my distress. Let's go to verse 11. Let's read that together. Let's read it together. It's on the monitor or it's in your Bible. Let's read that together. says there in verse 11. What does it say? Not that I refer to With. The word with is an end. With whatever I
With.
have. And I want you to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, say you can face ups and downs. Let's sit down. Let's see what we can do. Now work with me now. Work with me. Work with me. I want to talk to you this morning about the facing the ups and downs of life. I don't know about you, but I have never in my life, I'm 68, never in my life have I ever had anything that just went straight on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Have you?
No. No.
Many times in life, we have to face circumstances that we are helpless to do anything about. And we need to learn how to survive until it changes. Some of us this morning, we going through some stuff. We going through it. And we don't know how to survive. But I want you to know something. Everything you're going through changes. But you got to survive until it changes.
Amen.
And so what's happened is that we have become unhappy in the midst of what we're going through, and we have become discontent. Can't nothing satisfy us. I was at a funeral last week. I was trying to preach a sermon, and this couple, these people up on this front row, they kept giving me these real ugly eyes. And I'm learning when people start looking at you like that, something wrong with them. So the question that Paul raises this morning, when he says, I have learned to be content with whatever I have, it has to be addressed. And what's the question it raises? The question is, how do I become content with what I have?
Come on, Pastor.
Now notice here, I'm glad you didn't say in, aren't you? Because if he had said in where I am, then that means I couldn't come out. But he says he learned how to be content with what he has. Because see, you got to learn how to appreciate the good times and the bad. And so you have to learn how to be content with whatever you have. Now, let me deal with this. Let's find out why and how it's possible to have contentment when you have things that are not that comfortable, and when you have things that are just so exhilarating, you don't want to let it go. Both of them. He says with, right? Things with. So the first thing, let's see how we do this. So here's the first thing that you have to do if you want to be content. How many of y'all want to be content this morning? I'm tired of being discontent. So the first thing we got to do, listen, tell your neighbor, say neighbor, stop allowing people to disrupt your inner stability. Y'all got that one? Y'all got that? I got three things I'm going to say to you today. I want y'all to get this because I want you to be content. I want you to learn how to be content. If you can stop allowing, notice I said allowing, right? I didn't say stop people. Because people can't do nothing.
That's right.
But it's what you allow people. Stop allowing people. I want y'all work with me this morning. I want you to be happy. A lot of us are allowing people to make us miserable. Am I wrong?
Nope, not at all.
All right. And believe it or not, we cannot escape the influences of relationships and the effects that they have on how we feel. Somebody this morning You in the dumps today because of some of the way somebody feel about you. And you can't even make your decision about your life because you're worried about whether or not you're going to offend them. But Paul says, watch what he says. And get this. Here's the key to getting folk out of your life. Paul says that he rejoices in the Lord that now, at last, the Philippians have revived their concern for him. I had to stop and ask, where did the concern go? And what did Paul do while they neglected him? Do you realize that every action you take affects somebody else? Christians don't realize when you become a member of a church, the church depends on you, and when you don't do what you're supposed to do, or you don't make up for it, the church suffers. You don't know that your family suffers, your kids suffer. Everybody suffers when you're irresponsible.
Come on, Pastor.
Am I wrong?
That's the truth.
And we walk up, Paul says, revive. What does revive mean? Revive means you lost it. Or you quit. And then you waited and waited and waited. You never thought about the effects that it had on the people who were dependent on you. Or you just decided you would stop because it was convenient for you. So Paul says that one thing that we need to remember is people are flaky. Oh, y'all. And I want to say this to you. I want y'all to get this. They don't care whether you eat or go home. I'm sorry. I don't care how much they say they love you.
Amen.
When you don't fit their agenda, they don't care about you. Get that straight, those of you folk who are so in love. You can't eat love. And what you get out of love ain't nourishing. Hallelujah.
Amen.
I'm talking to you this morning. Y'all work with me. Work with me. Work with me. People will support you for a while, but when something else comes up, they will turn away and they will pursue that. Come on, y'all. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. Other pursuits become more important than Paul's welfare. Now, this man's in prison. Now, slippage in support affects those that depend on it. And let me say something about this. Most of us say, I want to be independent. Well, that's true. But most people are also dependent. There's no such thing as a totally independent person. So one has to make a decision between dependency and trust. Here's what I've learned when I look at people. Y'all, being a pastor for 40-some years, I learned people, y'all know folk have really, I'd be messed up if I was really basing my contentment within me on how people treat me. Wow. Come on, Reverend Bill. Come on. I understand that I need to depend on you. I understand that. If you don't pay your tithes, we will lose this building.
Come on, Pastor. Come on.
If you don't pay your tithes, Pastor Stacy and I can't eat. Well, we will eat, but we can't. So I am very clear about the difference between dependency and trust. I can't trust you. And I won't trust you. Come on. See, that's the problem too many of us have is we began to trust the wrong people. And when you begin in the first place to understand if people are flaky, and you depend on them, then you got to understand you got to find somewhere else that you can place your trust. Did y'all hear me? No, you let me say it again, because too many of you are trying to depend on somebody else to get you through. And you will put your trust in them, believing that they have the power to make you all right, and they don't. They will leave you high and dry. Why? Because they are people. You can't trust people. I'm sorry. I can't trust my mother.
Come on, Pastor.
Why? She's human.
Amen.
There's a difference between trust and dependency. And you got to learn the difference. And when you learn the difference, that's when you'll start being more content. You didn't let me down. You let God down.
Amen.
So when I look at this thing, I have a choice when I'm dealing with this thing about people. I want to move on, but I want y'all to hear me. I have a choice when it comes to people. I can choose between becoming disappointed and hostile because of the inattention that proceeds from people's irresponsibility. You know, they can make me hostile. Some of y'all are hostile this morning because they let you down. Or I can walk around here disappointed. But instead of that, Paul says that he rejoices in who? The Lord. Because his joy is not in the fact that the people revive their concern. Because he knows, just like they came back, they can leave again. So you have to realize people can't make you happy. Come on, y'all, follow me. Hang with me. I'm trying to help you. I want you to change the way you've been operating in 2016 and 2017, which means stop expecting people to make you happy. Don't trust nobody. You have to depend on them. I didn't say you couldn't depend on them, because you can't. I don't trust nobody. I got one of the most trustworthy women in my life, but I don't ultimately put my trust in her. And she don't need it.
Amen.
Huh? Huh? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm wrong. So the question is, if they let you down, then where are you going to get what they didn't give you?
Where you going to go? Amen.
Huh?
Yeah.
Come on.
You right.
Where you going to get it?
Amen.
Paul was being sarcastic when he told these folks. Let me show you what he said. He was this is sarcasm. This ain't, he didn't believe this. I'm telling you the truth. He didn't believe this when he told him, he says, that, I'm going to get to this. He says, I'm referring, no, he says, here you go. Indeed, you were concerned for me. No. That's sarcasm. They weren't concerned about you.
Right.
How could they be? That's what you believe. Then he says, but you had no opportunity to show it. Now y'all know that's a lie. Because if you really did have some concern, you would have found the opportunity.
Amen.
Don't walk around and telling me, Pastor Mims, I love you, and then every time I look around, where are you?
Wow.
I'm putting that in your situation too. If somebody telling you they love you, and every time you look around, they're not there for you, that's a what? A lie. Somebody say amen. Amen. Somebody need to hear me this morning, because y'all letting folk mess you up and they not doing what they supposed to do, and they telling you, well, baby, I just didn't have the opportunity to do it. Y'all work with me this morning. I'm trying to help you. 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 But see, and I'm going to the second thing. But see, Paul makes them understand that he doesn't trust them, but he trusts in Jesus. And if people fail you now, keep on trusting Jesus. Because Jesus will turn your enemies into what? Your footstool. And he says, Paul is saying, look, folks, sometimes people will quit doing for you because they want you to beg them. Well, you know what Paul is saying? Take your little stuff. Keep it. But you know, now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all working with me this morning. Let me tell you what I believe. I feel this way. Now, this is the human me. I feel that if you're going to give me something and take it away, you should have never given it to me in the first place. I don't want it. I'd rather have a little bit, Philip, that I can depend on, than a whole lot that you take and give. Somebody didn't hear me this morning. Paul says, you knew that I was dependent on you. But it's better to do without than to keep on begging you to do what you knew you needed to do in the first place. So notice that when they do revive their concern, they come back to church after being gone a few Sundays or even a few years. And Paul does not go off on them, though. Listen, when they come back, notice he didn't go off on them. Oh, some of us would have said, where were you? Where you been? You can't straighten nothing out by doing that anyway. So instead, Paul says, and this is a little underhanded dig. I rejoice in the Lord. God bless you. Because now at last you revive your concern. I'm not mad at you. But I thank the Lord that the reason you showed back up was because it was God that sent you back. All right, let me go to the, so let me close this part and I'll go to the second thing. Don't allow people to disrupt your inner peace. Don't do it. Don't put trust in them. If you need them, take what they do, but only trust in the Lord. Am y'all getting it? Maybe you getting that? You getting that? And then if you trust God, God will make them revive what they didn't want to do in the first place. They didn't want to do it, but God said do it. All right? And so contentment comes when you learn the difference between who you can trust in and who you can depend on. All right, now, so turn over. Let me share this and I'm moving on. Turn them folks over to God. Turn their money over to God. Turn the sex over to God. I'm going to just talk to you real this morning.
Thank you, God. Hey, thank you, God.
You don't need it that bad. Now, let me go to the second. Y'all give the Lord a hand. I love it. I'm going to talk to you because I'm your father. I want you to be content. I want you to quit walking around here unhappy, messed up because of people.
Right.
And the second thing. Now, this is important, y'all. Y'all better get me today because this is going to help you to live out 2017 in a different way. Amen. Secondly, learn how to manage your wants. The reason you are discontent is because you want the wrong stuff. And you want some things that you don't need. Amen. You made yourself unhappy. Often It is what we need, or often what we think we need, that keeps us in trouble. Notice what I said. I said it's what we think we need. It is how we manage our wants that helps us to be content. Wants are what we think we need, and then we convince ourselves that we have to have it. Wants will make us go into debt. They will make us disrespect ourselves, and they will make us fall short in our obligations. Y'all follow me? Now hang in there with me. I want you to know this morning that you can live without a want. What I just say? Right, but you can't live without a what? A need. Now, if you skip on a need to get a want, you will end up hurting yourself. In order to be content with what you get out of life, you have to pursue meeting your needs, and you have to discipline your wants. Now get me. Let me say this to you again. Say it to me again. I want y'all to get this, because most of us do not know how to do this. We don't say, I don't know how to do it. Amen. Because we might as well tell the truth. We don't know how to meet our needs and discipline our wants. Paul says that he has learned to be content in with whatever he has. Now listen, he's not driven by greed, and he's not driven by grief. Some of us deal with wants because we are bored and we don't want to keep on feeling the pain. Some of us are just greedy and want more than what we need. Paul says, listen, hang with me, y'all. He says, when he has plenty, he's not driven for more. He says he has no need to pursue a Mercedes when a Toyota will do. Oh, no. He does not spend his resources on keeping up with the Joneses when his children need to be sent to college. Y'all, come on. Am I talking to somebody? His diet does not consist of McDonald's every night when it's cheaper to make a salad and boil some vegetables. Y'all, come on. Y'all know them Big Macs that got high. Amen. I cooked 10 meals for 2 bad Big Mac meals. Man, contentment is not driven by satisfaction of wants. No, Paul realizes what a lot of us need to do this morning. Here's what I want y'all to do in 2017. Hear me. Hear me. I got to be forceful with this because y'all don't know how to do this. And I'm saying y'all don't know how to do it. You don't come to these financial workshops so you don't know how to do it. First of all, you need to get yourself out of debt. Cut up them credit cards. And if it ain't working, do something to make some money. Y'all, let me. The church cannot get the type of support it needs from you because your personal finances and time commitments are so messed up. That's why the church can't get ahead because the church depends on you, but the church can't trust you. Amen. I wish I could. But you need to get out of debt. You know you do. You got ulcers because you worrying about them bill collectors. Amen. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong. Let's make getting out of debt and eliminating wasted time. See, my wife tells me all the time, you can watch too much TV. Football season. Hallelujah. And I bet somebody's at home this morning because the playoffs are. Somebody can't even pay attention to what I'm saying because you worried about going home and watching Green Bay and the New York Giants.
Go Giants.
But don't y'all know that one football game takes up 4 hours? You're watching the pregame, the postgame, and then you're watching the game. That's wasted time. You could have went out and made some money if you're broke.
Amen.
You could have got your mind focused on something constructive instead of all the mess that you let yourself get into. And then you got to learn to stay out of the club so much.
Come on, preach.
Oh, I ain't talking about nobody this morning. Or hanging out. I got to be with my boys. Now, it may take more than a year, and some of y'all, it didn't take you long to get into this mess. But it's going to take you a long time to get out of it. But you're going to have to discipline yourself so you can.
Amen.
Managing wants is learning how to discipline yourself. It's learning how to say no. What you need to say no to. Well, if you're enjoying prosperity now, don't go overboard.
Amen.
Say no to wasting your resources. Some of y'all got 5 or 6 TVs in your house.
Amen.
And then if you only got one, it costs so much money, you're still paying on it. I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you. You didn't need all of that. Got to talk to you. Work with me this morning. Say no to them credit cards. Say no to them shopping sprees. Say no to your relatives and friends when they ask you for a loan. That's because you broke.
Amen.
And then I want you to do another thing. Help everybody around you to learn the difference between a want and a need. You need to help your kids to learn. Don't go buy them everything they want. My daughter is on public assistance, and I can remember we used to go shopping. She would spend $50 for a game for her boys. And then she would beg me for the money to pay her car insurance. The difference between a want and a need. We need to be like Paul. And not turn our good times into wasted time. Paul says he learned what it is to have little, and he knows what it is to have plenty. See, when you learn how to live with plenty, then you know how to handle little. And when you learn how to deal with little, you can handle what? Plenty. But it all comes with discipline. Don't let nobody con you into getting into need or debt. We need to be balanced. I'm almost through, y'all. Hang with me, because y'all got to hear this, because you got a life ahead of you. And you need to think on what God is saying in His Word. That you need to learn how to manage your wants. Manage your wants. You got to learn how to live at the smallest level that you can.
Amen.
Listen, y'all didn't hear me. Listen, if you making $1 million now, don't start spending $2 million because you have $1 million. You got to learn how to live at the smallest level. If I went into $1 million and I was living on 50,000, I'm going to keep living on 50,000. Why? Because there's no guarantee that that million is going to always be there for me to pull on. That's why so many of these football players and basketball players end up making $60, $100 million and they what? Broke. Because they didn't learn how to live at the smallest level. They took and they made a mistake. They thought a salary was income. If your income cannot support your lifestyle, the salary does not make any difference. The salary is not guaranteed. I want you to leave here this morning. If you don't remember nothing I said, I want you to remember this morning that you got to learn how to manage your wants. That's what's got you messed up. Now, I'm not saying, and I'm going to my last thing, and I'm through. I'm not saying you should not have ambition or goals. That ain't what I'm saying. But there's a difference between having a goal and sacrificing for it. And thinking that you have arrived and sacrificing everything because of it. Did you get that? The difference. The difference. Contentment is not having a lot of things. Contentment is learning how to live in spite of what you have. Y'all got that? Okay, now let me go to the last thing. Manage. First thing, watch out for folks. Second thing, manage your wants. And the last thing about contentment is having confidence that no matter what the circumstance is, you're going to pull through. If I have that, Jamal, if I have that, I will be content. Because I'm content when I have the confidence that I can handle anything that comes my way. And the confidence comes from the fact that I learned from experience that I could make it. Wait now. I'm almost done. Paul closes his acknowledgement to the Philippians by saying, here's a secret I want y'all to learn. Y'all listening to me? Hear me. Hear me. All you broke folk.
Amen.
And I know I got a church full because my budget don't reflect nobody with money.
Amen. Amen.
All you broke folk.
You get an amen over here.
You need to learn a secret.
Yes, sir.
The secret of being well fed and going hungry, having plenty, and being in need. Paul learned from experience how to do this. And that's why God keeps taking stuff from us. Because God is trying to teach us how to live in plenty and in need. And God is trying to teach us not to go overboard when we have plenty. And he's trying to teach us how to not become depressed when we're in need. God, experience taught Paul. Let me tell y'all something. I want you, everybody in here, you might be able to identify with some of the things Paul learned from experience. Paul had been beaten up in Ephesus. He had been arrested in Philippi. He had starved on the way to Rome. He was persecuted by Jews everywhere he went. And he had learned that beating up on himself or becoming bitter would do him no good. So if you're bitter this morning, let it go. If you're depressed, come on out. Come on, I'm trying to help you, trying to help you. You got to learn how to use your troubles to overcome your trials. What did you learn from the last crisis you had? What did you learn? Did you learn how to persevere? What did you learn from your last crisis? you learn how to not go back into another one?
Come on. Come on.
Some of us never learn. Never learn. Never learn. Paul had gone hungry, but hunger didn't faze him. He had had tremendous success in life. Y'all know that this man in jail, in prison, he'd been in prison 5 times. But this man was the valedictorian of his class.
Amen.
He came from a family that had status. He had been a leader of a group. And he had fallen down to the lowest of the lowest. How did he handle this? He handled it because he understood that there was something else to contentment other than his circumstance. This morning, I want y'all to get something for me this morning. Get something with me. And handle this with me. I want you to understand that whatever circumstance you're in, whether it's plenty or whether it's want, that does not determine how happy you need to be. Come on now. Plenty, I've learned that plenty doesn't last long. When it seems that you're getting over the hump, something will always happen. You'll buy a car and lose your job. You get a home and end up in a divorce. You can be on top of the world and it'll fall in on you. The most important thing in the world is not what you can attain or hold on to. The most important thing in the world is being able to face with confidence whatever comes and know. I got something I know, y'all. I know something. What I know is that whatever comes cannot defeat me.
Thank you, God.
Y'all better come on now.
Hallelujah.
Why are you bitter? Why are you depressed? You haven't learned the secret of dealing with plenty and dealing with want. Paul says, the reason I can do this is because I can do all things. Oh yeah. Not I. Thank you. But I can do all things through. Wait, now y'all got to understand what through means. Like you got to know what with means. Come on now. Through means that I have put myself into the power of something that's different and stronger and greater than I am. When I start going through that thing that I entrusted myself in, it goes through with me. Make it through. I was brought through. If it had been left up to me, I would have been flat on my back. I saw somebody's son had killed himself. And everybody was so tore up that they wondered how they could make it to the next day. But Paul says that I got somebody that will bring me through. I don't care about it. I don't care about what it's doing to me right now. All I want to do is make it through. If I can make it through, I'll be all right. Somebody don't hear me this morning. You don't need to change it. You need to get through it. What are you going through? You need to get through it. I can do all things. Wait a minute. He didn't say I can do something. He didn't say that this is a part-time goal. He didn't say that he was different from me. He said, I can do all I can. all things. Through.
Hallelujah.
All I need is some strength. Don't give me no more money, because money will make it worse. I just need some strength.
Thank you, Lord.
If I can just get up on my feet, if I can just take another step, I can make it through. Lord, I ain't asking you to move this mountain. All I ask you to do is just lead me around it. And if I got to climb, then give me a toehold to go up the mountain. I don't want to be slipping and sliding and going down. I want you to come in and put a toehold, and I'll take a step all the way up until I get to the top of my mountain. Yeah, that's what he means. I can do all things. Through. Let me tell y'all this, I'm going to take my seat.
Thank you.
Oh, I remember this story.
Thank you.
I remember this story about this old woman. She used to pray every day. This atheist next door, this atheist man. He'd go and complain to her. Why you praying all the time? Your God must not be able to do nothing. You stay on your knees all the time, and you ain't got a head. You ain't got a head or nothing. Why you praying? Why you turning to God and asking God to feed you and pay your rent? Don't you know that it's better for you to get up off your knees and do for yourself, because that God you serve ain't real? But she just kept on praying. And one day that old man, that young man saw her down on her knees, and he said, you know, this old woman ain't gonna get nowhere. Let me get up. And he went to the grocery store and he bought a carload of groceries. He spent over $150 and filled it up with groceries, and went back to the house and called the old woman and said, come here. Come here. I'm going to show you how useless your God is. I'm going to show you how much time you wasting on your knees praying. Here's a carload of groceries. I did that. And she walked out and looked at the car and saw the trunk load of groceries, and she turned to the young man. She said, thank you. He said, thank you. She said, yeah, thank you. Because the Lord took the devil and filled my house up with groceries. Thank you. Thank you. My prayers worked. Touch you. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. All I had to do was just wait until he made the devil move. I tell you this morning, Satan, move. God said, move. I can do all things. Up or down. In or out. He's God. He's God. He's God. I am content, not because everything is all right, but I'm content because God is all right. Is he all right? I don't know if you think you get up on your knees, or get off your knees, get on your feet and stand up and tell him, you all right? You all right? You all right? I can do all things. Somebody this morning got some self-doubts. Somebody this morning looking at what you're going through and thinking that you can't come through. Well, with Christ Jesus, you'll make it through. You'll make it through. You'll make it through. You'll make it through ups and downs, rounds and rounds. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Let's have a great 2017. Let's get out of debt. Let's get our hearts straight. Let's let some of those folk that disappointed us in 16, let's put them in their right perspective. Let's let God have everything. 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 I can do all things. All things. All things. I don't see a down as a down. I see a down as an opportunity. I don't see plenty as plenty. I see plenty as a challenge to put aside something God is helping me to meet in the future. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Get some wisdom, Barak. Get some wisdom. Stop living your life where you let your ups and downs destroy your trajectory. Get some wisdom and live for God. The doors of the church are open. The doors of the church. I'm content. I'm content.